Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Mike B, and today we're going to be talking about a gun myth that drives me up a frickin' wall. A lot of you in the comments have been kind of talking about it and alluding to it. I just wanted to set the record straight. So this one, as you can see by the title, is going to be displaying the myth that dang Italian Carcano is a piece of junk, or there's no way that Lee Harvey Oswald could have made that shot because I couldn't. Okay, well, if you know who I'm talking about with a certain TV show, I qualified expert marksman and I couldn't make the shot. He qualified on an AR-15, which is a totally different weapon platform. And when he was doing the shot, he was not operating the bolt correctly, like if you've seen my other video on how to operate a bolt really fast. So the shot can be made, which I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Anything could have happened. Main thing is JFK died. That's all I know. So I'm not really making this video to get into that per se. But it is a relevant thing because every time somebody thinks of a Carcano, they think of the JFK shooting because he used a 1938 M38 TS Troop Special. It's a short rifle like this. This is a 38 cavalry carbine, which is the only Carcano that I have currently. It's also the first Carcano I've had. It's similar in size. It's a 6.5 by 52 millimeter, which is an excellent cartridge. Very flat flying, very effective. And what drives me nuts mainly is just people saying the Carcano is a piece of crap. What I think that stemmed from is way back in the day, you've got two calibers for the Carcano, right? In World War II, they started experimenting with the 7.35 by 50. Oh my God, actually, the 7.35 cartridge. You got me. Anyway, so what I think happened is a lot of people got those 7.35 cartridges or chambered rifles and tried to run a different caliber through it, and it probably blew it up because if you try to run ammo that's not for a certain rifle and another rifle, chances are you're going to have a catastrophic failure. It's the same with the Arasakas, which I'll also make a video on with the myth. It's a lot of user error gave these a bad name. Now, the Carcano rifle was adopted by the Italian military in 1891. That's pretty damn early. It's a really nice platform. It's got the Mannlicher style end block or packet. It's an end block system where on the last shot it falls out of the bottom, the thing stays in the rifle. I actually don't have mine here. It's packed away somewhere to show you. But if you watch my other Carcano videos, you can see that definitely it's a cool loading system. It holds 6 rounds, where mainly rifles at that time held 5. And they used that rifle until, the late 40s, early 50s. Because it was just a great platform. It's, again, a flat flying round, the 6.5. I can't attest to the 7.35. I don't really have any experience with that. They sent a lot of those to Finland, probably for logistics reasons, and I don't know why, but maybe if I ever get one of those, I'll check it out and try to get some ammo for it. But anyway, the Carcano is a great platform. If you haven't seen my Carcano 1891 video that I made several years ago before I had to sell it, once you figure out the sights, because the sights are a little bit, they're really cool once you figure them out. You're like, oh, that's really ingenious. But once you figure out the sights, that thing is really accurate. And I was using the undersized PPU ammo, and it was still hitting targets at 500 yards, which is really good with open sights. And a rifle that one was made in 1916. So as far as the Carcano is an Italian piece of shit, is a fallacy. It really is. It's because somebody's not familiar with the weapon platform or bolt action rifles in general does not a shitty platform make. It is mainly user error. That's what most myths start, is just user error. Just people being stupid, not understanding the platform, not really getting how to load it, how to fire it, how to cycle the action, how to correct a malfunction and all that stuff. And the Carcano, okay, so what was it, 6 seconds for the 2 shots apparently? Again, I don't know what happened. I don't delve into that shit. I wasn't there. JFK died. That's the only fact I know from that day. Anyway, if you're sitting there at 110 yards at a moving target with an optic, he had an optic on it and stuff. All these weird people are getting 38 TSs and putting the same optic on because they're weird, just like people buying Tech 9s after Columbine. But I digress. I'm getting off on a tangent. So if you're sitting there at 110 yards, right, moving target, it's not that far. It's really not. And you take your shot. So I'm going to dry fire it again. It's my gun. If I break it, that's my problem. So, bam, bam. Even if you took longer for that second shot, it's totally doable if you know how to cycle a bolt action rifle, which I'm pretty sure, so if Lee was the one that did it, whatever, I'm pretty sure he was familiar with bolt action rifles. He was familiar with weapons before you join the Marine Corps. And then in the Marine Corps, obviously they take marksmanship to a whole new level. So it's like, yeah, if somebody knows how to aim and you know, use all their basic rifle marksmanship skills, breathing, the trigger squeeze. I mean, even if I'm grabbing the bolt, but here's the thing, is like all these people that try to reenact the shot, they go, bam. Like, it looks like a monkey trying to fuck a football. And it's like, well, that's user error. Just because you can't do it doesn't mean that Lee Harvey Oswald or whoever did it. Again, I know it's going to blow up in the comments, but I don't give a shit. So, but if Lee actually did that, it's totally possible, I think. I'd like to try and replicate the shot myself because I'm familiar with the Carcano platform. Back then, they were really cheap. They were very cheap, which is probably why he used it. Very accurate. The ammunition he used was the stuff that was a 268 diameter, which is the PPU stuff is 264. So it's a little bit smaller, but it still works. 268 is what this is made for, and that bullet tumbles. It's a really long bullet if you don't know what they look like. And it tumbled and it went through and hit some other people, but yeah, it's totally doable. The Carcano itself is a great rifle. I actually have never had a problem firing one. I have fired this one. I'll have to make a video on this. I actually haven't made a video, and it's one of my first rifles. And this thing is really accurate. I was shooting it at 50 yards, which the sights are fixed, so it's kind of like, okay, well, I'll just check this out. And ammo back then was like really hard for me to get before I discovered PPU. So I fired this 50 yards, and I was grouping really well, and I suck at grouping. So even with the big sights and the weird oblong front sight post or blade, yeah, it's a really easy action. Like even when you fire it, right? So the cocking piece is dropped. It's not a lot of effort to pull that up. It's a cock on opening, and it's a really easy platform. And especially with the curved bolt, straight bolts are even faster for me. You can palm them a lot easier, but this bolt happens to stick out, just like on the 38 TS. So again, not getting into the conspiracy. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but I know I'm going to get a bunch of these old, like, middle-aged dudes. CIA. I know, okay. I don't care. But all I'm saying is that shot, in my opinion, was possible if you know how to work a bolt on an Italian Carcano rifle. So it's not a piece of crap. That's a myth. It's a gun show thing. Luckily, it's kept them cheap for a long time. But now, just like the rest of surplus, people discover that they're actually really good rifles, and now you can get ammo for them, and the prices are going up. So that kind of sucks. I just want to get another long rifle. I'm going to get an 1891 again. But anyway, the Carcano is not a piece of crap. That is my educated opinion based on experience and just history. Like, why don't you tell everybody that the Italians killed, and other countries that use the Carcano, why don't you tell everybody that they killed, that the Carcano is a piece of shit, it doesn't work, and it's not accurate, and it can't hit anything. Guarantee you they'd beg to differ. So, yeah, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really have to get out and shoot this thing. Nice little rifle. Loud as hell, but anyway, I'll stop rambling. This is just kind of a free-form ramble video. I usually don't make these anymore, but it's kind of what I started doing on the channel back in the day, so I'll keep doing that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Consider supporting me on Patreon. Your support really does help. It doesn't just help me, it helps other creators like Devin K. We do helmet ballistic tests and stuff like that, and it pays the bills. And Patreon's a great way to support me because I can interact with you very easily, and it's great because I put votes out on Patreon of what you guys want me to spend your money, your donations on. Last month it was actually World War I German tunic, which should be here any day now if it isn't already at the time we're posting this video, for my history videos and stuff like that. So it really helps. I can't afford to fund my channel anymore out of pocket. I have for years, and I went broke doing it and got into a lot of debt, so I'm going to pay that off. So anyway, yeah, consider supporting me on there. If not, I get it. I just appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think. If you get too far into the conspiracy shit, I'm just going to delete your comment because I don't want to get into that. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's like, I mean, nobody really knows. It's like you can think you know all you want, but I don't want to get into that shit. Anyway, I'll stop talking about that. I'll quit rambling because I'm sure this video went on for a hell of a lot longer than I wanted it to. But I hope you enjoyed this little rant video. I like rant videos because I just turn them on when I'm doing something and you can listen. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next rant video.